You already ready, buddy?
What's up, y'all? Happy Monday, and welcome back to PowerWash Sim, or as we like to call it around here, Mostly Clean Mondays. We have some new DLC that we have been itching to play. However, we have been hitting the links lately on Mondays as we were playing PGA Tour. I really don't know what the future holds for this day after today. We'll have to see if I get another Wallace and Gromit stream. I don't know if Chacho has mentioned how long this is, how much there is. It's the same money value, so I'm assuming we'll probably get 2 streams out of it, even if one is maybe a little shorter than usual. And on that note, so Friday we were supposed to get a call, and I was supposed to go run up to Portland, or it's actually Clackamas, to go get a wheel for Reese, and they never called. So Saturday I got a text, and it said, no, it was late Friday night, and they said, hey, I might be down here this weekend. And we're like, yeah, please let us know. Never called. So essentially what happened was the tire machine that mounts and balances the wheels broke. So they got set way behind as far as production goes. And, you know, may just be an excuse, but regardless, the wheel has not been ready for pickup yet. I'm supposed to get it today. Now, we've got a few things juggling around. Reese is working. We have to pick it up by 5. He gets off at 4. That's putting it very close. So I may, if I get the text sooner than later, I may dip out a little early for that. Well, I'll finish whatever level I'm on or whatever, but that is a possibility, but also not a likelihood. It might actually not happen till tomorrow or Wednesday. So really frustrating, as we've got Reese's car up on jack stands, and we want it to get it off of there as soon as possible. So anyways, let's say hey to the chat, and we'll get to some sprayage. We got a Chacho out there early. We got a Tamara out there early. And we got a Paige. What's up, guys? Thanks for being part of the early notification squad. Much love to you all. Dropped an early gifted membership this morning, and it went to Adam B. So may see him later today, may not. We'll have to wait and see. Terry's out there. What up, Terry? Good to see you. Rob is out there. Justin is back as well. What is up? What is up? We got Jason out there too. What up, dude? Looks like Double K is in the house. What's up, Kirstron? Let's see, moving down the list. We got a Ben out there. Justin says new artist album drop, huh? Yeah. So a group that I've been listening to since I was actually just thinking about this a few minutes ago. I remember being up in the Roseland Theater up on the upper stair area, which has historically been 21 and up. So I feel like I had to have at least had my ID, because I was a little early access on the 21 inch, thanks to my roommate's ID. So, I mean, but I do remember one particular friend who is younger than me being up there as well, and he did not have an ID. So I want to say that when we met these guys, they opened for Too Short. We went to a Too Short concert there, and the Living Legends opened for them. They were basically a collective of a lot of Bay Area rappers, Oakland and all sorts of the kind of around the Bay. Anyways, that particular day we were hanging out up there, and I went to go get a drink with my friend, and we got stopped by this guy who turned out to be the DJ. Ends up being Sunspot Jones, who's one of my favorite parts of the group, was selling tapes. And my friend bought 2 tapes, and we heard like 5 or 6 songs of them warming up. We didn't know who they were when they played, and we took those tapes home, and we absolutely fell in love with them. And here I am 20-ish, 25-ish years later, and still listening to them. They just dropped a new album. And on that note, funny enough, Too Short actually released a new song either yesterday or today. So it's just kind of funny that they both were releasing new music at the same time. They don't connect anymore. They don't really talk, or I don't know if they ever really did other than the tour. But yeah, the Living Legends put out Legendary Music Volume 3 is what it's called. And it's got some good jams on there, some real good songs. So probably not for everybody, but especially not for Brian D, who's out there. What up, dude? Good to see you. Is the sound good, though? I know it was there. That's not the worry. The worry is if I sound gross or not. So, real quick, My mic settings have been going wonky for some reason. Something happened to Streamlabs. It changed one of the settings and it moved it from my normal wave 3 link into the default setting, which was also the wave. But for some reason, I think it was using the camera mic. That's the only thing I can come up with. It's either that or somehow, I mean, I don't have the controller hooked up, so I don't know how it could have been the controller mic, but maybe it was the controller mic through the system. I really couldn't tell you. But we figured it out after Gray showed up, like, end of stream was like, hey, you're broken. What's wrong with your mic? And everyone's like, oh, yeah, by the way, your mic sounds terrible. Thanks. Anyways, we had to change the source. And this morning, I woke up and my computer had restarted itself. And I had to punch in my little access key to get in. And when I logged in, I checked the settings. And this time it was on the original wavelength setting. So hopefully it'll be good. And hopefully I sound good. Sounds great. Sounds great. All right. Perfect. 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 All right. So I do have probably 2 more days after today of sitting in this chair. My butt cheek, I literally sat down 10 seconds before I clicked the live button. And my butt cheeks are already feeling the discomfort. Like, I don't know if I just have, like, no badunkadunk, and that's part of my problem, or if I just am getting old and I have bad circulation from the hips down or something, or I don't know. But this chair is the worst. You know, I've thought about, like, leaning this back, but I'm still, my lower half is like this. So now when I kick it back, when I stand up, it probably won't go back that far because anyways, we'll try it. I'm going to have to make some adjustments. But Wallace and Gromit. Let's see here. I have completed a lot of these DLCs. Oh, nice. Okay, so notice the circle around the icon is all filled in and it's white, right? Notice Wallace and Gromit is not. Neither is the seasons. Why do they keep resetting these on me? How many times do I got to do these to keep my 100% good? That's so silly. I wonder if Chacho's reset too. It's more of the angle, and that being said too, my knees are about this far away from the keyboard tray. It's a funny angle, and there's really nothing. Wednesday, the chair is supposed to be here. I'm also expected to play Atomfall on Wednesday, so depending on, it probably won't show up until 6 or 7 at night, I'm guessing. Stupid UPS. All right, Wallace and Gromit's dining room and kitchen. Let's go ahead and check this out. $300 is a decent amount, so it makes me feel like it's a decent area. It looks like I can use the old triple ready shreddy. It feels good. Whoopee cushion. I already have one of those for myself, bro. I am a whoopee cushion. You're old. You know how that works. All right, so let's switch it on over to the triple shreddy. I don't even know where to begin. Is there... Okay. First, I should look to see if there's any trophies. It looks like there are. All right, so home sweet home. Complete the kitchen and dining room. Kitchen job complete. Wallace's house. Complete the Knit-O-Matic. Complete Wallace's vehicle's job. Complete. And while dining room, kitchen, activate the toy train. Okay, so that's it. Just activate. All right, activate the toy train. Let's see if we can find the toy train. Oh, I hate how that works. It's me. Earthquake happening, huh? Fun. Lucky. Toy train, toy train, toy train. I'm on the trackety poos. Okay, that was a little too easy, huh? Some of these trophies are kind of ridiculous. I'll take them, though. I like easy trophies. I just don't care for easy lists. Like somebody the other day, I'm not going to go into details of where this even was. You may have seen something similar. Maybe not. Somebody posted that they got like their 300, I think it was 300th platinum. And anyways, without going into detail about who, where, or where, I did click on the person's list, and it was like, you know, they had like, my name is Mayo, my name is Mayo Euro, my name is Mayo Japan, my name is Mayo. And I'm thinking, okay, so you got one of the easiest platinums in the history on all the, and I don't know how that works. Like, how do you get these multiple styles, like the different, you know, like the European one, and how do you do that on the American account? Like, I don't know how you mess that up or how you figure that out, but like, I don't know that those deserve the same praise as like, and I don't get me wrong, I have my name is Mayo on mine, but I didn't buy it 5 times for $1 to get 5 platinums in 5 different regions so that I can have 5 platinums. Like, I did it once because you guys wanted me to, you know, and I kind of stopped doing those easy platinum ones because I felt terrible about, it's almost like falsifying records, right? Like padding stats, if you will. And I'm sure we all have a couple easy ones, and that's respectable, right? But if you're seeking out and then going, I got 300 platinums, like, that's kind of crazy to me that like you would count those platinums the same. Like The Last of Us, that's a grindy platinum. You know, what was another one I've done recently? There's lots of grindy platinums, right? Like Dead Rising, the remaster was not easy, right? That platinum I had to earn, even with some off-stream hours, and you know, so I mean, some of those I feel like probably shouldn't have platinums. Gold trophies, yes. Platinums, I don't know. Or there needs to be like a mega platinum, right? Like something that represents like, this one was actually hard. This one actually required work. This one took longer than 30 seconds of pressing X, right? Like, I don't know. So yeah, what's the scoop on, my dad got a notification there was an earthquake 98 miles away. It took about 7 seconds before we felt it. So you got the notification before you felt it? That's wild. That's way crazy. Don't worry, Kirsten, it was just me and my whoopee cushion. It was actually further than 98 miles away. I can confirm the source. No, not funny. Kirsten, I haven't caught yet. Did you watch Last of Us last night? I know you said you forgot that it was on, but it wasn't clear if you watched it or not. Come on. You didn't watch it. Aww. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. I'm sure you already know some of the stuff, but the cast is pretty sweet. I won't say anything else. We enjoyed it. It was good. Boring? Dude, get out of here with that. Get out. Did you even watch did you watch the right one? Have you played the game? Let me ask you that. Have you played the game? Have you played The Last of Us Part 2, Brian? There was one particular scene that I was like, yeah, I remember this. Cast is phenomenal, dude. Quit hating, bruh. Quit hating. Ellie is great too. Ellie is super great. And when they actually did the So last season, I won't go into details. Last season, there was a cameo that had some backstory to it that I was actually kind of blown away rewatching it because I didn't really pick up on something. I mean, I picked up on the premise of what was happening, but there was some like minor details that were happening that like really, I was like, oh, dang. Okay, now I see why they really hired what's her face to play Ellie. I can't think of her name right now. I do know they did do a particular scene from the game. Okay, so you know what? I don't want to say anything, but I'll say this. Maybe it'll make sense. Maybe it won't. From a distance, baby. Does that make any sense? And as soon as it came on, I was like, no way. Jillian was like, what? And I was like, see, if you would have played the game with me, you would have known what's going on right now. I totally hit her with one of those. And she didn't speak to me for the rest of the episode. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. She's been really busy. She's actually taking a class, and on top of taking a class, she has been prepping and teaching a class on Wednesdays, a professional development class. And she's doing her normal job. And, you know, for the last couple of weeks, there's been a lot of taxes for us and Reese. She helped Reese with his taxes as well. And then Reese ended up having to pay, so we had to, like, set up payments and do a bunch of bank connecting and stuff. So, like, she has been absolutely swamped. And then our cousin moved back from the Netherlands back in December. And she's getting a place right down the road from us so she could be close to us, which we think is absolutely awesome. And thankfully, my mother-in-law has actually stepped up. She's been a little bit more available than my wife, so she's been helping her cousin out as well, which has been awesome. And my cousin actually moves in tomorrow. So I haven't seen her in 6 years. They're the ones that gave us the Prius. Unfortunately, her husband passed away since they left. You know, they're older. You know, they're definitely not young. Not that I am. And but yeah, so it'll be really nice to see her because, like I said, I haven't seen her in a while. We had a nice Easter Sunday dinner yesterday at my dad's, so I got to see both my brother's wife, baby Luke, and we watched the Masters, the finale. That was pretty crazy. Not a big golf fan, but my youngest brother really is, and my dad really is. So we definitely had a good time watching it. I hung out with baby Luke, who's like not crawling yet, but he's like scooching, you know, like scooching along on the floor. It's pretty awesome. It's fun watching him from a distance, not having to do all the changing and all of that stuff this time around. Because it was me last time. I mean, I had a lot of help, don't get me wrong. All right, that train's gonna be a pain in the tuchus. Figure I get a little bit of it every time it goes by. Yeah. He actually scooched over to my brother Tyler's shoe and untied it. We were getting a good laugh out of that. It's like, yeah, see, he doesn't do that to the cool uncle. Yeah, Jillian, I think, got some good video of me and Luke playing the foot game. If you don't know what the foot game is, you might find out at the game break. I don't know. Depends. I'm pretty sure she recorded tall. I hate it when she records tall instead of wide. Because it doesn't make for good, like, stream videos or any of that. I keep hitting circle to crouch, but that's clearly not the crouch button. I know I can stop the train. I had to start the train to get a trophy. I'm aware I can start it and stop it. I just figured while it's in motion, I probably have better angles versus me. I mean, I've got most of this train done. At least I think I do. Choo choo. All right. Feels good to be back on the old PWS. I haven't even gotten like my real power washer out in a while. Like, it's actually, I need to do our driveway again. It's getting pretty bad. The only problem is our driveway is like 30 something years old and it's starting to crack and chisel away. So when I hit it with the power washer, like it takes some of the the driveway with it, which is not necessarily ideal. We're not sure what's going on though with remodeling. There's a lot of talk about different stuff, and everybody wants kind of a different scenario. So that's really tough when you got 3 creative minds all trying to do something different, right? And none of us really have the capabilities of like making blueprints or things like that. Like I'm probably capable of it. I've never done it. But beyond me, I mean, Reese is really smart too. I guess he could probably chip in, but then we'd have a 4th brain trying to give ideas and solve problems or create new experiences. And so I don't know how that's all going to work. Like, we talk about it often, and all right, I guess I paid for a ride around the room. Haven't visited Disney in a while. It was nice to get a nice little... That was kind of fun, actually. I legit did not mean to do that or even know how. I probably couldn't do it again if I tried. PS4 game seems forgiven with a PS4 version. I would not know comparatively to either of those. I've only played this one. I will say this, though. I will say this about the PS5, PS4 versions. I am confident, like 98% confident, that I bought this DLC the day it came out, like weeks ago, right? I'm confident I downloaded it and installed it, right? Confident. Today when I fired up the game and I went to go look at the levels to see how many, like, it wasn't there. It wanted to take me to the store. And when I went to the store, it said that I needed to buy it. So I bought it. I'm sure I already bought it, okay? So then it kicks me to the download page, and I have 2 options. I have the PS4, PS5 version I can download, or the PS5 version I can download. So I'm pretty sure somehow the PlayStation Store bamboozled me into buying this stupid DLC twice. I can't play it any differently or any more time. I don't get 2 trophy lists for the PS4, PS5 version and the PS5. Like, I started going through my notifications to see, like, if you know, because it's like, you know, you bought a game or whatever. The Wallace and Gromit's ready to use. So I went back and tried to see, but it only goes back so far. And I'm pretty sure I bought it like the day or 2 before we started playing Firefighting Simulator. I'm pretty sure. It might have even been that same day. Like, it might have been the transaction that happened right before that one. So, that being said, I'm going to have to check some records and see. I mean, I'm definitely not against playing it on both versions or whatever. I don't think I've really played the PS4 version much. I can't remember. I know I played the Xbox version, and I know I've played what I believe is the PS5 version a lot. I don't know. Whoa! I don't know if I've played the PS4 version at all. I could start all over, y'all. So I was gonna say, I think I'm done in there, but I is not done. Yeah, we've been watching some really good TV lately. Like I said, we just finished up rewatching The Last of Us. We're also just getting into season 3 of The Yellow Jackets, which we waited till it finished so we could like binge it. Meanwhile, we just also rewatched season 2 and checked out season 3 of The White Lotus for the first time. And I remembered not really caring for season 2 of The White Lotus. And it's probably my least favorite of the 3 seasons. But I realized how good it really actually was, too. I really enjoy that series. Hopeful that there will be a season 4, you know, announced at some point in the near future. I know season 3 just finished, but... So, yeah, lots of good TV on right now. And I'm glad, too, because, like, soon we're going to be outside a lot, working in the yard, power washing the driveway, planting sunflowers, which we actually found our whole box of sunflowers. We already planted, like, our first batch. We got to do the supplemental fill-ins, though. And it's funny because my wife was like, I can't find my box of sunflowers. I'm going to go buy some. And I was like, you do not need to go buy any. We have, like, literally, we could start a sunflower seed store. I'm not kidding. We have so many because every year we've harvested like 5 heads of each color and each style, and we have bags on bags on bags of like hundreds, if not thousands of seeds in every bag. And she's got like, you know, from 2022, from 2023, from 2024, from 2025. Like, it's like, oh my God. And every year she buys like a couple of packets from the store too. To, you know, things that maybe we don't have or a different color variant or something. And so I'm telling you, we could probably start our very own sunflower farm and sell seeds while doing it, which is not a bad thing. But that's one of the things that's in the works right now, or that we're trying to figure out. Like, you know, Jillian really wants to get some raised bed. What do they call it? Basically, it's metal framing that goes around what would be a raised bed. So you put it on the ground. There's no bottom to it. It's just like literally like a fence that goes around in a circle. It's all special metal and painted and galvanized so that it'll last. I think they're supposed to last like 15, 20 years or something like that. The warranty on them is. So my wife wants to buy like a lot of those, which, you know, I'm all for whatever she wants to do. But if we're going to remodel, we might not have the same room or ideas. I don't know. We got a whole new front area that we're working with now too that's traditionally been a yard, and we took the yard up like 2 years ago, and every year we sort of do a little bit more with that front area. And this year the wife wants to get a couple of those galvanized, you know, they almost look like a pool, you know, but they're metal, like a standing above ground pool. And she wants to get a couple of them and then put like a trellis in between them, so there's like almost like a walkway in between the two. Then you can like walk, and then like she wants to do strawberries, and maybe some raspberries to go over the top, which I think would be kind of cool. Other than we just have to train it real well, because otherwise we're gonna get poked from the raspberries, right? Raspberry thorns are not very big, but they're not very forgiving either. They're better than blackberry thorns, though. Get out of here, Gerg! Ah! Always trying to interrupt me. Gergus interruptus. They look like that. It's back wheels, yeah, see? And I knew it. Nailed it. So this is what it looks like to be Nom. Can I reach that handle? I don't know. Might need some help. He's probably getting ready to be coming back from Japan. Probably not till like Thursday, but getting close. $37. You've seen Clerks? That's funny. If you haven't seen Clerks, can't help you with it because it's inappropriate. All right. Well, I'm doing pretty good in the room. Feel like there's some up top here though too. No. No. Okay. Roof should ring off any second. There we go. The side piece should ring off in about 3, 2, 1. Can I get a ding? So the NBA season has officially wrapped up for all teams. They're getting ready to go into like the play-in tournament, which will decide the last couple of teams for playoffs. And man, more and more coaches are getting fired. Portland just re-signed their coach for, I don't know how many, multi-year extension. They didn't give us the details on it, but like some good coaches are getting fired left and right. Like Denver Nuggets fired their coach. This morning, the Phoenix Suns fired their coach. That's Bobby's team, by the way, who has the highest payroll in NBA history, and they didn't make the playoffs. And get this. This is wild. So there's 30 teams in the NBA. 29 teams are either in the playoffs, going for a championship, or in the lottery. Except for Phoenix. Phoenix traded their lottery pick this year and next year for some assets that they have that they paid way too much money for, and it didn't work out. The Portland Trailblazers had the same exact record as them, and Portland is considered to be in like the second year of a rebuild, meaning they don't have any stars, and they were riddled with injuries this year, which Phoenix had some injuries, but Portland had like half of their team was not available for half of the season or more. Like Portland really struggled with availability, and we still managed to win the same amount of games as Phoenix, who had 3 mega all-stars on their team. Portland doesn't even have an all-star. Portland doesn't even have an all-star, let alone like a superstar or mega star. And Phoenix has 3. So yeah, it's kind of wild. So their coach got fired. And I actually found out something cool, too, that you baseball likers might... And I don't know a name, so don't ask. You guys could probably figure it out, though, if you did some super sleuthing. Last night, I was hanging out with my brothers at my dad's. And my youngest brother looked over at my middle brother and said, hey, I should have... I think he said, Cody, get me so-and-so's autograph. And again, I don't know names, so I can't help or explain. And I go, you know somebody on the Cubs? And he goes, yeah. So-and-so, which again, I don't know the name, went to Westview High School, which is where they went to high school. And he's like, yeah, he was a year and a half, or 2 years behind, a year and a half. He was 2 years behind me. I think he's like a year and a half younger than my brother. And I was like, no kidding. He's like, yeah. So apparently somebody on the Cubs is like on a major hitting streak right now. And they were talking about getting his autograph through this guy who my brother went to school with. Both of them went to Westview, but only one of them was around at the time this other guy was. So I thought it was kind of cool. Not very often, you know, the local high schools around here churn out NBA or MLB or NHL or, you know, the top tiers. One of my friend's daughters is actually playing over in a league in the Netherlands, but not quite the same as like NBA or WNBA or whatever. Still professional basketball, I'd love to get paid to play basketball. I'm not good enough, but I'm not stable enough either. Although the way the Blazers had luck this year, I could probably be as healthy as about half the team was. Okay, so I'm going to park this thing over here so I can focus on the train track. Tracks are still wiggity, 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 whack. Hey, what up, Dragon? Excuses, excuses. Wait, excuses for what? Me not being good enough? Are you talking about Blazers injuries? No. We excelled. We were expected to win 22 games this year. We won 36. So we way overachieved. We did way of, and we're actually one of the upcoming teams. The team finished, so they kind of split it up for some reason into 2 sections. I think it's to benefit the stat. But you know, All-Star break is in February. That's like sort of the middle point of the season. Really, it's like past halfway, but they consider it the halfway point. And you'd think they'd go from there, but they don't. They go from January, which is a little closer to the halfway point of the season for a lot of teams. But since January, Portland had a top 3 defense. There's 30 teams. We were top 3 in defense. That's wild. We haven't been a top 10 in the last 15 or 20 years. So, you know, we basically figured some things out, and hopefully we'll be good next year. I mean, I don't think we'll win a championship next year, but you never know. We'll see how the draft goes, see how acquisitions go. Portland could really make some noise or be a 36-win team again. I mean, I'm here for whatever it is. If they win, I would cry like a baby. I really would. If they lose, I will likely cry like a baby as well. No, I'm pretty used to losing. I just like the competitiveness and the chance. Hey, it's Raised! What's up, Raised? Still baffled Kirsten didn't watch The Last of Us. Reese was like making a huge deal about it. It's like, I'm watching it with or without you guys and blah, 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 blah. And then Jillian had work to do and she busted through her work, and right at like 5 minutes, 10 minutes to 9 o'clock when the show came on for the second airing, or for the West Coast airing, I guess, she was like, all right, I'm done. Let's watch this. And we went down to talk to Reese, and Reese had called a friend over, and we're like, oh, so are you and Hunter going to watch it or what? And Hunter's like, I've never played the game. I've never watched the show. I'm not necessarily trying to watch it. We're like, oh, okay. And we're looking at Reese like, well, you said you're going to watch it with us. And you were going to watch it with or without us. And here we are getting ready to watch it. And he's like, just watch it without me. I'll watch it later. And he still hasn't watched it. Now, if he has a slow day at work today, he'll probably get through it. That's probably what he's doing right now, honestly. But it's supposed to be like 70s all day today. No rain in the forecast for like a whole week. Like, it's really awesome. I washed my car the other day. It's still clean. I'll probably give it a quick spray down and do the wheels today, because I often don't clean my wheels when it's wet. Because I'll wash the car and the car will look clean, but I'll let the wheels slide just because they're one of the first things to get trashed. If there's any wetness on the ground at all, they get damp and then they collect dirt, plus brake dust too. So, but I gotta wash my wheels. It's just got to be too late. Do you guys not have... How do you guys have HBO? Through cable, I'm assuming? Or do you have Max, the app? Because you get... Either way, you should have access to watch it at any time you want. You don't have to wait for the airing. We just happened to use 9 o'clock as like the goal for Jillian to get her work done. And then we watched it. We actually we started it like 15 minutes late. Uh-oh. Text message. It's the wife. Aw. It's Roderick's birthday today. We haven't seen a lot of Roderick lately. If you don't know who Roderick is, he's one of Reese's friends that actually lived with us for a while. But that dynamic of living together put a huge wedge in between their friendship. And then, you know, now that they don't see each other all the time, they're not forced to, and they don't work together or anything like that. So, like, they haven't seen a lot of each other. But Reese just put up a really, really awesome post on his Insta towards Roderick, wishing him a happy birthday. Just saying, like, I know we're not on best of terms right now, but I still love you and happy birthday, brother. Which I think is awesome. Roderick's a good dude. Roderick's a good dude. It's funny, I was just talking trash about Reese, and then he goes and does something good. Nah, I wasn't talking trash. Or was I? He's been driving me nuts, though. You know how I always make fun of, like, is this the email? Is this the email with me? Like, my curiosity, my anxiousness, my lack of ability of being able to wait for something, right? Like, I need it, and I need it now. Reese totally has that, too. So he's been texting me, like, every 4 hours. Did Jim text you? Did Jim text you? Jim's the wheel guy. Did Jim text yet? Hey, have you heard from Jim? I'm like, bro, I'll let you know as soon as I hear from him. And then, like, yesterday, I got to, so Reese worked at the golf course on yesterday morning, and he opened. So instead of going up, like, at 5 in the morning, he stayed at my dad's, and then only had to get up at, like, 6 in the morning or something. And so we didn't see him until we arrived at my dad's for the dinner thing. And I was like, hey, dude, how you doing? He's like, good. I was like, how was work? He's like, pretty good. It's like, right on. It's like, you know what, dude? I'm pretty proud of you. And he's like, oh, what did I do? And I go, bro, it's like 3 o'clock, and you haven't even asked me once if Jim texted. And he goes, oh, well, I asked Mom twice already today. Hopefully that doesn't go against me. And I was like, are you serious? And she looked at me, and she goes, yeah, he did. He knows that you were getting tired of him asking you, so he started asking me. I was like, bro, I'll tell you when he texts, man. I'll tell you when he texts. But yeah, like father, like son. And then my dad showed me his new car last night. It was hilarious because we got in his car, and within 3 seconds of getting into his car and sitting down, both of us dropped our phones down out of our pocket and into the depths of the car, where we both went, frackin', rah. And I looked at him and I started laughing. I go, did you really just drop your phone right now? And he goes, yeah, you just did too. I was like, yeah, dang. Now I know where I get it from. Thought it was pretty funny. We had delicious dinner, though. Like, they had, like, tacos. They had, my dad did pork chops, like a whole pork, like, tenderloin, kind of, like, crazy stuff. And then he did, this carne asada steak, basically. And then he did some chicken, some fajita chicken, and all fresh peppers and all sorts of stuff to go with it. And they had tiny little tortillas. I was blown away. I'm like, tacos on Easter? This is wild. But of course we had pork too. Normally we just do like ham or turkey, right? Like that's kind of the traditional stuff that we've always done. But my dad's crazy with the meats. Like, he's got a couple of smokers, and like I think in retirement he could probably start like a little mini barbecue, like food truck, and I'm sure he would crush it. Like he is, Like, and he'll do stuff that I would never like try or do on my own, right? Like some spicier stuff or some different rubs or just things that I would never think of getting. And I'll try it, and I'm like, man, I didn't realize how much I'd love that, you know. So I'm grateful for the diversity or the experiences that I get through his wildly awesome cooking. You know, when my mom left us when I was like, 4.5, 5 years old, my dad was responsible for all the cooking for us. Then on out, like he didn't meet and remarry until I was 12. So I mean, that was a good 7, 8 years of cooking. And as I've mentioned before, I didn't know it at the time, but I grew up pretty poor, and we ate a lot of fish, a lot of deer, a lot of duck, a lot of things we caught or shot. My dad grew up out in the countryside and was a big hunter. His dad's dad and his dad's dad before him were all like hunters, and so kind of stopped with me. My mom was a vegetarian, so that you could see why they didn't work out. So it was probably pretty obvious in the beginning, but neither of them could see it. So, but yeah, Dad's become an amazing chef, and we all benefit from it. My brothers, my wife, my son. And Reese gets a fair amount of like lessons of how to do stuff. Like he goes and stays there, stays with Grandpa, and Grandpa teaches him how to, use the smoker and all sorts of stuff. So he's getting a lot of experience with all that, which is awesome too. I can eat. What are we having for breakfast? Oh, cheeketh or numbeth. All right. Time to kick into recliner mode here. Well, I made it 49 minutes before I couldn't ignore it anymore. It's not that it's just happening. It's that I've been able to ignore. But like my like when your foot falls asleep, it gets like super tingly. I was about 10 seconds away from not being able to feel any of my tuchus. There's some blood flowing now. I can feel it's all warming up, and gets that like oh hey, whoo, we were all out of oxygen there for a minute. Yeah, we stopped and got some donuts last night too on the way home. There's a Krispy Kreme on the way home from my dad's, and we don't often stop there. I'm not a huge Krispy Kreme advocate. When they first showed up, it was like, yes, we got Krispy Kreme. Like we've been seeing it on like Seinfeld and like shows for years, but for finally we got it. Same with like In-N-Out, right? Like we go to California and get In-N-Out. We never had it here, but now that we have it, it's kind of like, it's all right. We don't really have a good donut place in Salem, though. Like Dunkin' closed 20 years ago. We had a Day and Night or Day Light. I can't remember which one it was. For a while that was pretty good. But if I'm being honest, they did a biscuit and gravy better than they did their donuts. So that's what we would always get when we'd go there, is biscuits and gravy. But after a while, I started getting really sour stomachs from it and stuff, and I never did confirm this, but a lot of gravies, biscuits and gravy, tend to have onions in them. So I quit going there. I don't know if the franchise is still around out north or not. I know that the one out south got bought by a local group, and you go in there and it's like, the customer service is terrible. Like, I don't mean this in a bad way, or don't want to come off weird or sounding like I'm something I'm not, but like, I don't think, see, how do I say this? I don't think English is the first language, okay? And I get this feeling when I'm in there, like they don't like me. Like, and it's not just me. Like, I've had other people say this too. Like, I think it's just a cultural difference, right? Like, customer service has been touted as like a happy experience. Customer is always right, kind of a thing. And I think when you kind of get into some different cultures, that doesn't necessarily translate the same. I'm not knocking or hating. I don't feel very like I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's just not a very positive experience going there. And the place is kind of run down. Like, they haven't done any renovations for a long time. So, like, it's kind of gross in there. Like Duncan did the last one, and that was 20 years ago, right? I think they still got, like, Dunkin' Donut signs that are, like, covered, but, like they haven't even removed that stuff. Really? Something in it gives me terrible, terrible, terrible heartburn. And I just thought, like, old country gravy often had, you know, onions and everything. Grits, everything. Yeah, it was really good. We used to get it all the time. When we worked, there was one summer that I worked at a golf course out in West Salem called Oak Knoll. I must have been 19, 20, 21, somewhere in that vicinity. It was one of the best summers I think I've ever had as far as employment goes. I got the job there because the superintendent had quit, and when he basically chased a bunch of employees out of there and was told that he needed to quit or he was going to be fired. So they basically lost all their employees except for one, and it happened to be one of my really good friends, and he ended up, you know, saying, hey, you should come work for me. And I was like, all right. And so then, like, a couple of my friends were like, oh, you're getting a job out there? Cool. Why are you working? And so then, like, a couple more of my friends applied out there. That summer, me and, like, 5 or 6 of my closest friends at the time worked at this golf course. And we were the greens crew. There wasn't an adult. There wasn't some schmohawk that had 25 years of experience telling us what to do or anything. And that course got so many, like, compliments. Like, this course looks so good, you guys. Like, whoever's doing it's doing a great job. We would get ownership coming in and going, hey, you guys are crushing it. Keep up whatever you're doing. And Aaron was great at management. So we all listened to Aaron. And, man, one of the funniest stories of all time happened out there when Aaron and I were working late. And we were doing the late night watering. And we had this old bomber Toyota pickup truck, and Aaron basically was living there. He wasn't supposed to be, but he was staying there working till 8 or 9, 10 o'clock at night, and then he was having to get up for the greens crew at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, because, you know, you mow as soon as the sun comes up. You put fertilizer down usually at night and water at night. So, like, it's kind of like a all day, all night, especially if you got one guy doing it all. And so we were out one night. Aaron tells the story so much better, but the short of the long is this. We come across what appears to be a dead owl. So Aaron picks it up and for some reason decided to put it in the bathroom, took it back. I think he was going to call, like, the local geographical whatever people, because, like, it was a dead owl. Like, what killed the owl, right? Like, there was no bullet wound, or, like, what killed it? Did the pesticide or something? Like, what? So I think the plan was he was going to call and have somebody come pick up the owl versus, like, throwing it in the trash or whatever. And so I like pack all the things up. I'm like, all right, I check out for the night. Aaron goes to bed. He wakes up in the morning. The owl is not dead. The owl is not dead, and it's trapped in the bathroom going wild. Aaron opens it up, and the thing, like, attacked him. Oh, my God. So good. Like, Aaron tells that story so much better. If I see him this summer, I will have him tell the story on camera. Because he just, like, the way he tells it, like, you don't know. Like, I kind of gave it away at the beginning, what we thought was a dead owl, right? He doesn't tell it like that. He doesn't tell the story like that at all. Like, we're in full belief that there's a dead owl, and he's got to go through protocols to fix it and get it right. Oh, my God. It was pretty funny. Aaron and I have had some really good times. He's the one that also owned the cider company He also currently owns the CBD company. It looks like he's sold it and now become a fly fisherman tour guide. Um, so he's trying to sell all of his tanks right now. I haven't talked to him. We've texted a little bit. Like on my birthday, he sent me a message, and on his he's a leap year baby. So like, you know, I always message him on the 28th of February, and you know, it's easy to remember. You know, some birthdays are easy to remember. I got a couple friends on Halloween and things, and he's just one of those ones that's easy to remember. So I always hit him up, and we've exchanged. But like I've been seeing he's selling a bunch of his stuff, like all his tanks that he made the drinks in and processed all the wine and cider and stuff in, because he made wine for a little bit too. Oh my gosh, I'm getting some really crazy like input lag, or you see that right there? Like that was not me swaying that. This happens every once in a while, and you know, oh, that's probably my exoforma drop off. All right, hey, I'll be right back. All right, so I got to do something real quick, guys. I'm sorry for the delay. Um, I ordered something a couple weeks ago, and I'm sure this is what it is, but the box says it was sent from, man, it's like stapled shut. What the crap? So the box, long story short, I ordered a specific brand of product from a company, and they've sent me a box that's actually sent from a different company. So, like, imagine this. You bought a Sony TV, right? And Samsung sends you a box. That's kind of what I'm like freaking out right now, because I wanted the racing line one. And this box is from 034 Motorsports, which may be the US vendor. Try not to cut myself on these large corrugated staples. Oh, no, it's racing line. All right, let's go. You can see right here. Oh. So R line, racing line. Same as like my badges, racing line. So this right here, that's a stupid purchase. I shouldn't have had to buy that. Without going into extreme details about my car, because I know you guys hate that. Even though I give it to you every month. The car itself it's pretty expensive car, right? Like it's Volkswagen's top-notch vehicle. They do not make a higher vehicle like Audi does, but Volkswagen does not. That's I got the top of the line Volkswagen. Uh-oh. My chair may have just committed suicide. If I fall off camera here, you know what happened. It's making some weird noises that it wasn't making before I stood up. Anyways, the hood on my car does not come with a hydraulic prop. You know, like you pop the hood, you pull the little lever under the dashboard, and then you go to the front of the car, and then there's usually like a little notch that you have to push over or push in, some sort of safety hook, right? So that the hood doesn't just pop up while you're driving. And you push that hook in, and then you lift it up. 90% of cars since 2000 have a hydraulic lift. So when you open it, it just goes up. If you're old like me, you probably remember you usually have to lift it up and then you pull that little arm out and it's like a little metal rod and then you stash it into the... So my car, being the top of the line Volkswagen, does not come with a gas strut. My GTI came with a gas strut, which is not the top of the line. Top of the line. This is sketchy, guys. So anyways, yeah, that was clearly too big for the box. I've been waiting so long to buy this too. Like, I've opted to buy other things instead of this, and it drives me nuts. But I just did that vinyl work for the hood and got the vinyl done, so it got like sectioned off. I think I told you guys, maybe not. But I did pick that up on Friday. That was one of the things I did pick up. So I got some vinyl work done, and some guy did some stuff online, and I saw it, and I liked it. And his was totally different than mine, and I didn't want to spend the money to chase down to do... Like, he was paying as much as, like, a carbon fiber one or something really fancy would be to do something really simple, and I didn't want to follow that trend. So I did something completely different, but very similar, and it cost me 50 bucks. In fact, I haven't even paid yet. Bro was supposed to send me a link today. But my vinyl shop's been pretty good to me. I like them. They wrap my GTI top, and although there was some stuff in the very beginning I wasn't loving, and their customer service with my response to it wasn't very great, but I was also sort of holding a really high standard and expecting them to maybe fix something that they probably didn't need to, and so I just let it go. And since then, Igor and I have been pretty tight. Igor, hook it up. Hey, Jerry, what's up, man? This is the Wallace and Gromit DLC, the first one. I guess it's called the dining room, I think is what it's called, right? Dining room and kitchen, yep. I'm getting pretty close to being done with this first one. I did turn the train on to get the trophy. So we'll be moving on to the second one here in a minute. I mean, I still got some work to do. But I think I got like the whole kitchen done, so I don't think I'll have to go back and find any stuff in there. This has been pretty forgiving. I'm stoked to get my gas strut put on. It's like such a simple but like satisfying upgrade. And then that means my black badges are here too. Woo-wee! Because the mailman, that was the mail. They couldn't fit that in my mailbox, so poor mailman had to walk up my stupid hill to get it and drop it off at my door. I could see him; he was just gassed at the bottom of the hill, at the back of a truck. Because it's really nice today. Like, it's 70-ish. I don't know if it's 70 yet, but it's probably mid 60s already, I would guess. 63. I was close. Dang. Ring, ding, ding. So how's Jerry been? I love this game too, man. That's good to hear that you're playing the PowerWash. It's one of my favorite. I love Mostly Clean Mondays. We've been holding off on this for a minute. I really enjoyed the PGA Tour game too that I've been playing on Monday for the last couple weeks. You know, and hey, Jerry, if you like this game, I would recommend, especially if you have PlayStation Plus Ultimate or whatever the crap they call it. This game right here, it's totally different, but it's similar in the same at the same time. So like, if you haven't played it, and tell me to shut up if you have. Basically, you get to drive a fire truck to a location, and they're like little tasks. It's basically like being a fireman, and you get to get out. You can have AI or play with up to 3 friends, and you go and you find these fires, right? And the fire has like these little meters, and they sort of fade out as you get the water put on them. It has a similar satisfaction. So definitely, if you got access to it, I don't know if I'd recommend going to buy it, but it might be worth buying if you don't have Plus, depending on what the price is. We've been playing it on Tuesdays for the last couple of weeks, I think we have one more week before we're expected to take a break from it, or move on from it, however you want to look at it. And we've been really enjoying it. I got a team that I play with, Kirsten and Gerg and Bobby, and we've really enjoyed it. We all have our own like specific jobs. Like I'm like the attack hose guy. Like I put on all the red hoses and get a hose ready for everybody on the team. Gerg is our supply hose guy, so he immediately gets out and hooks up the yellow hose and hooks us up to a fire hydrant so our truck doesn't run out of water. And Kirsten and Bobby are like a reconnaissance team. They go in and look for injured civilians, security, any kind of electricity, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And make sure to turn the power off or turn the valves off or anything that's causing extra flames. And then basically we all get through that first step of doing that little job, and then we all work together to put the fires out. It's been a blast, literally. Even a couple backdrafts. What about leaf blowing simulator? I have not looked into that one yet. I've tried a lot of the simulators, and I enjoy a good simulator, but there's a bunch of bad ones. Like, there's like Car Broker, that's terrible. House Cat Simulator, so I don't remember. There's a couple on the channel on the main page that say, do not buy this game. And that's my recommendation, to not buy it, because it was a terrible experience. Or it, like, one of them felt like it was created by AI, and like it just had no human element to it. So like there was no, like, it didn't understand how to actually move the character and how to jump, and like there was no testing done, is what it felt like. And I made it about 40 minutes and went, nope, can't do this. Sorry, guys. Quit. The car one, I made it a little bit further, but then I realized it was literally the same task that I was doing over and 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 over again. So I was like, all right, I think I've done this enough. I'm not making a whole lot of money. I'm not gonna work for platinum on this. And so you just gotta kind of try them. I really liked Gas Station Simulator. That one was kind of like a time waster. You're constantly busy moving. You gotta sweep the floors. You gotta clean the bathrooms. You gotta fill the gas when the cars pull in. And there's definitely been a few simulators that I've really enjoyed, and there's been some that I could not stand after about 5 minutes. I will definitely check out the leaf blower one, especially when it becomes a little bit fuller or more complete. All right, I was skipping. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna move on to these curtains over here, and I got the final spot. Pow, 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 pow. Pow, 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 pow. Meow, 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 meow. Yeah, I'm excited for PowerWash 2. They announced that the second one is in development, will be out this year. They also announced that there would be 2 more Muckingham free files that will come out soon. Chacho and I were talking a little bit about it before the stream started, and, historically a lot of the free ones are holiday themed. And, it's been a few weeks since we got this release. So I thought, it wouldn't be out of question for them to release a Easter one. So, there could be like an Easter bunny, whatever. I don't know what they'd even do, but like, I could see it being like tie-dye and like colory and Easter eggy. Part of me feels like, was there already a... There's Alice, Warhammer, Santa's Workshop. Yeah, there has not been an Easter one. So, I mean, that'd be all right, right? Be funny if it was like Jay and Silent Bob, like Mallrats Easter Bunny. Mallrats Easter Bunny. I really need to watch Mallrats. It's been probably maybe 2 years since we watched it. We watched it at Eagle Crest with Roderick, which he didn't go this last year, or did he? Yeah, Roderick did go this last year, so maybe it was just this last summer. Yeah, Reese is super bummed. He chose his buddy Hunter to go with us, and well, wait a minute though. Now that I'm thinking about it, the timeline doesn't mess up anything. Anyways, Hunter was gonna go with Reese this year, and you know they got their own room and you know pool access and blah blah blah. They have a blast. Hunter hasn't ever been, but I know they'd have fun. But Hunter got accepted into like a Disney work program, so it's like and I wondered if Kirsten maybe knew something about this, because as soon as I heard, oh, you're working at Disney, the first thing I thought of was Kirsten worked at Disney. It's going to be at Disney World, though, not Disneyland. And, like, at first Reese was like, oh, yeah, he's part of the acting class school, so he's going to get to maybe be, like, one of the actors working on sets, or, you know, maybe walking around. And I laughed. I said, oh, he's going to be Goofy. No, probably not going to be Goofy. But apparently, you know, and Reese was, like, under the impression that, like, he was going to get school paid for and all this stuff. And, like, room and board was paid for. And so Hunter came over last night. We're like, all right, tell us all about this program. And he was like, basically, it's a work program. I'm working for Disney, and my experience is counted as some sort of college credits and, like, work credits. And so I don't know how it'll affect him, but he's going to do it for a year, I guess, which is super cool. We're excited for him. But Reese is like super bummed because it's like one of his closest friends and has been for a while. And he just found out like 3 nights ago that he got accepted and he's leaving. So like Reese is really happy for him, but he's also like, what about me? And so I was already like, so like, do you get like discounts or passes, or how does that work for you? He goes, oh yeah, we get free passes into the park and discounts for family and friends. And I was like, how soon can we take advantage of it? And I said, when do you fly out? And he said, September 8th. And I go, so September 9th, are we good? Can we plan for September 9th? And he was like, bro, you're gonna have to wait and see. Like, I'm gonna have to figure this out. Like, I can't commit to that yet. But Reese is like already ready, like, hey, let's go. I'm ready to go to, I've never been. And ironically, Jillian and I have actually been talking about it. So we went to Disney. I really enjoyed it. I'm a fuddy-duddy. I don't like doing a lot of new things. I've seen the movie Taken too many times. And you know, this right here, I can't afford to have this out in, like, areas that might be known for, you know, kidnappings and stuff. Because, I mean, come on. That being said, I've you know, our current state of travel is interesting too. Like, I'm curious to see how Nam's experience goes. Quite a few years ago, my wife went on a trip, and she was over in like France and all over the place over there, and like she really couldn't tell people she was American because like there was some stuff going on, and people were not very happy or kind to Americans, so they were running around. Her and her friend were saying, oh yeah, we're Canadian. And ironically, no joke, ironically, they come back, her friend meets this guy, they fall totally head over heels in love with each other, and he's from Canada, his whole family's from Canada, and so they get married here and they move back to Canada, and she started a business, and it's wildly successful too. I can't think of the name of it, but it's not something I am used to using. But it's kefir water. Has you guys ever heard of kefir water? It's essentially like a probiotic protein or something, and like it's all clean. Her son ended up having some really sensitive digestive stuff, and she couldn't find anything on the market that would work, and ended up finding this home recipe, and then was making big batches of it. And then, like, I guess she tried it and had success, like, you know, with her stuff. And then other people were using it, like friends that were like hooking people up and like making like home bottles and bottling it up. And it became big enough. And like, she's getting ready to sell the company that she's got an offer, I guess. And it's like millions of dollars. And I'm just like, Man, where was I when this idea was concocted? I have trouble pooping sometimes too, you know, like, but not that you guys needed to know that, but just saying, she's done really well. So kind of funny that, you know, years later she ends up actually being Canadian. So wasn't telling a fib after all. All right, so I have 99%, but as you can see, I've got no blingity bling that I can detect, which means it's probably in the kitchen. My guess is the root. Oh, there's some right there. So that's good. Oh. Here I was thinking I did a good job in the kitchen. Did a terrible job. None of this stuff is popping up. And I know the drill. When you don't see nothing, you got to get low. And the train appears to be good. Like, so maybe we'll open this back up. I got inside the pockets. The oven. It's all nice and clean. Maybe the doors. Oh, the door's good. Well, what the crap, man? Is it this guy? I'm pinging like crazy right now, too, just so you guys know. Like, I'm hitting the button. Ding, 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 trying to get it to show any signs of life. I mean, the tracks are good. Books are good. Board's good. Wall's good. I'm not picking up anything. I'm looking. Oh. There we go. So sometimes just looking around and looking at the meter up in the top left is good. Oh. Is it the door? Alright. I did clean inside the fridge. I did. Guessing there's inappropriates. Looking at the meter, I got nothing. I'm just trying not to use the cheat method. But I'm gonna have, oh, reading table. Ooh, sneaky and cheeky. Alright, so I'm feeling pretty confident about out here. It's got to be in here. It's got to be in here. Nope, a doof here. So I got inside the oven too. Books on the bookshelf. All right, let's just go ahead and pull it up. Dining room phone. Are you kidding me? All right, Jam Ballista Body. Is that this? Auto Chef. No. Kitchen Plant Pot. What's that? That's jam, but I don't know. It's not the right jam. Okay, there's the pot. Alright. Sure enough. Dining room pitcher. Is that the jam? Okay, and the pitcher. Pencil pot. Teapot. Pitcher? Pitcher. Pitcher. There we go. Hey, ooh, weak show. I hear a ticking clock. My love for you is like berserk. Oh, it's funny. I was just saying I haven't gotten the payment yet. I just got the link. Really appreciate your business. Hope everything came out as expected. We currently have an open invoice. And that must mean my other stickers are done. I had them do some other custom Instagram stickers for me. The reason for it is I'm going to be at a couple Volkswagen shows here in the next couple of weeks. And I don't know if you guys know how this works or not, but if in the car world, other businesses and stuff use this too, but if you have your Instagram sticker available on your car, your build, when somebody takes a photo of it, so like a professional photographer or some willy-nilly random other attendee of the same show might take a really cool photo of my car, and they'll tag me in it so that they're like, hey, Inadub, look, here's your car. And I'm like, oh, hey, cool, thanks. That's definitely something that I'm interested, because I want photos of my car. I'm like a narcissist, but I'm a carcissist. I think I just made that up right now too, if I'm being totally honest. Somebody look that up. See if there's a meme or any kind of recognition of a narcissist who loves their car. A carcissist. All right. So we'll start this. We'll see how it goes. Cha-Cha, how many levels are there in this? Trophies. Say that there's... So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5? Is that right? 5? And the next one is it the house job? Is that the one we're working on? I didn't even look to see which one I loaded. So it is the house job. Okay, so Wallace and Gromit's house. And on this one, I need to roll the football under the pond. I wonder if that's like a meaning from like a movie or a show or something. It's funny, the ball is like perfect. Hey. Okay. Oh, look at that shot. Cool. Good looking out, Jerry. Okay. So, let's see here. He didn't ask for help. I am okay with Jerry helping me. Settle down there, Chacho. I did ask you how many levels there were, though. Oh, there are 5. Okay, you just... Cool. So I say, I didn't see you respond to that, but you did. You did! I was guilty of not reading. So I'm still baffled that my VW racing line came from 034 Motorsports. Those are like, seriously, it's like Sony and Samsung. They do the same thing, but they're completely different and competitors. It's so weird. And I know that 034 doesn't make the racing line stuff. Because 034 is considered third-party aftermarket. VW Racing Line is considered OEM Plus, which means original equipment manufacturing plus. It's like, doesn't come directly from Volkswagen, but it is like a recognized entity or extension of the brand. Which is why all my stuff, all my hardware that I'm putting on is, well, mostly a Racing Line. I am putting an APR intercooler in, but it's only because the Racing Line one requires you to cut things and alter the factory stuff, and I don't have to cut my stuff. That seems like a really bad idea. It's probably simple and like less intrusive or problematic than I know or think it is, but still. You're good, Jerry. Don't let Chacho. Bro, it's good. You're good, Jerry. You're totally good. I appreciate it. There are some times that I prefer to try and figure things out on my own. That's not one of them. That's not anything that wasn't spoiled or any of that. So don't, like I said, don't let the Chachinator get on your nerves or make you feel bad or pressured or any of that. We're good. All good. All right. Ding a ding 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 ding. So Justin, are you still out there? Have you ever heard of the living legends? The Grouch and Eli, Murr, Sunspot Jones, Aesop, Picasso. There's sometimes some other dudes too. Like Reverie is kind of considered a living legend now. She's kind of an up-and-coming female rapper. We've seen a couple of outsiders be considered living legends as well. Arata, who's a Japanese rapper, was definitely part of their crew for a long time. I don't know what happened to Arata. Like, it was always cool. Like, they'd have these, like, West Coast crazy beats, and then this dude would come in with, like, this very unusual voice. Like, you know, his sound was very different, but he would rap completely in Japanese. And the flows would always sound like I could never tell what he was saying, but it sounded cool. You know what I mean? Like Arata was dope. He even went on a few tours with them and stuff. Definitely cool stuff. Not heard of them. Yeah, they go way back, man. I mean, they've been making music for 25, 30 years now. You know, I was surprised. I was listening to them on Spotify this morning, listening to their new album, Legendary Music Volume 3. I was surprised they only have like 150,000 users monthly or whatever registering. That seems very low for them. Like, they're underground, and they take pride in that. They never really wanted to become mainstream. In fact, they even had like a series of albums called UHB, There was UHB volumes 1, 2, and 3. And UHB stood for unsigned and hella broke. UHB volume was. So like they've always taken pride in being unsigned and low. But like 100,000 seems like, I mean, I feel like they got a bigger audience than that. And maybe Spotify is not where most of the people listen to the music. I don't know. That's where I get all mine at. Some people use YouTube Music. Some people use iTunes or Apple Music. I don't know how that works anymore. Because iTunes used to have to buy everything and to listen to it. I'm sure they got a radio service like Spotify. I don't think Google got one. Does Google got one? Anyways, yeah, I really like the Legends. Grouch and Eli are probably two of my favorites. You know, Lucky I Am is really good too. I love the way Lucky's got such a weird sounding voice. Yeah. Historically, I think Grouch and Eli are they're like a dynamic duo within the group too. They're like best friends, and they went through a lot of stuff. Eli actually almost died. He became addicted to heroin, and he's been a fully sober, recovered, drug addict for I don't know how many years now. He talks a lot about it. You could hear it, feel it in his lyrics too. Like, he don't smoke weed. He don't do nothing no more because he doesn't want to fall back. He's got a daughter now too, and he's married. And like, I've been following these dudes for years, borderline stalking them. And like, I never go to concerts, but anytime the Legends come to town, I got a ticket, and I'm there. And I'm looking forward. They're supposed to be coming through again here in a couple weeks. I'm hopeful that the rumors are true because they're promoting the new album. So there was a concert happening in Red Rock, Colorado in September that we almost bought tickets to. It was a whole bunch of crews, Atmosphere, and there was a whole bunch of people that were going to be there. The Far Side was going to be there. A lot of Oakland and Bay Area. Hieroglyphics, Del the Funky Homo Sapien. I mean, it's like the 90s bangers. All the OGs from the 90s in the Bay Area. Seth the Gafla, a bunch of people were supposed to be there. But we opted to not buy tickets because I don't like to travel. That's ultimate. Like, I was like, look, maybe this is the concert of the century. We got to go. But it's in Colorado. And then I start talking myself out of it. Like, where would we stay? How would we get there? We got to get a rental car, blah, 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 this and that. Like, we don't like doing ride shares. I don't like Airbnbs either. Like, every week it seems like more and more Airbnbs are being found with like cameras or shoddy policies, or they're there all the time up in your business, or like there's all sorts of Airbnb horror stories. And I'm sure there's plenty of decent ones too, but for the most part, I've been like anti-Airbnb. Like, my friend just went to this big thing back in North Carolina, and he's already booked his stuff for next year. Like, in fact, they get back today, and he's already booked his stay for next year. And so I'm like, where are you staying? Is it too late for me to get a place? Like, are we driving? Are we flying? What are we doing? And he's like, well, I told the wife I wanted to drive, and she said if we drive, I'm flying. I'll see you when you get there. I was like, oh, well, that's no fun. So I don't think he wants to drive, but we've been talking about driving across the country and doing like, a whole bunch of stops along the way. Stop and see Chacho, stop and see, John Bondi. No, I don't know who we're gonna. But driving to South Carolina, there's a lot of possibilities. Or North Carolina. I've got friends that live in North Carolina too, so I definitely would go see Patrick, my brother from another mother. Oh yeah, we that was so many years ago. I don't know if bro still has the cassettes or not. I got some of my old original Living Legend CDs though. I mean, I've got some. In fact, I've got the Grouch poster from when the Grouch came to town right here. It's a super old. Show You the World. He's got his like 2-year-old baby daughter on like his shoulder, like looking over him, and the album's called Show You the World, right? Like, it's all sort of inspired by his daughter and becoming a dad and all this stuff, right? Dude, she is a DJ. She tours and she does all sorts of stuff. She has like a couple rap songs that she's made. Like, she grown. She older than Reese now. And I mean, I got the poster still on my wall that I ripped down from the concert when they came to, I think it was the McDonald Theater in Eugene. I think it was at the McDonald. We saw a couple people there. Prof. We saw Brother Ali come through there too, who's kind of in that same genre or that group of like underground, like really famous underground, but not mainstream, you know. And Brother Ali, I love some of his stuff, and I just can't get into some of his stuff. Like, he's one of those guys. But I like met him, got his autograph, like hung out with him for a few minutes, like at one of his concerts, and I sort of ditched Jillian. Like, I thought she was right behind me, and he came down off the stage and he cut through to go to the merch booth. And I tucked in right behind him. Like, I got my hands, both hands on Brother Ali's back, walking through this huge crowd of the audience. And I thought Jillian was right behind me because somebody had their hands on my back, right? I got all the way to the merch booth, and I turned around, I was like, this is rad. And I was like, and the dude was like, yeah, this is. And I was like, you ain't my wife, what the hell? I still hear about that one every once in a while. But I got my stuff signed, you know. So I bought the CD that night because they just released a new CD called Us, and I got it signed. So it was, in the end, at least I got the signature to make the wife ditching a little more validated. Speaking of cassettes, Reese, not this year, but last year for, I believe it for his birthday, he, maybe 2 years ago now, his grandma got him a record player because he's been collecting vinyl and he had nothing to play it on. And so, like, you know, he's got a couple of artists that he follows that have been releasing a lot of vinyl, and so he's been buying every one of them. Still Woozy's one of them, and also Juice WRLD. Juice WRLD sent out a bunch of, you know, he died a couple years back, so Reese has been buying anything and everything Juice WRLD. And anyways, he got a new record player, but it also plays cassettes. And I was going through my car stuff, and, you know, basically all my old stuff, most of it's out in the garage with, like, my car stuff. And I found an old Redhead, Kingpin, and the FBI cassette. And I brought it in. I was like, hey, bro, listen to this. So Reese listened to the whole tape and actually fell in love with two of the songs on the album. And, like, for, like, weeks, he would get in the shower, right, and get out of the shower, and he'd start bumping Redhead Kingpin on my old cassette from, like, 1991 or something like that. Like, I thought that was pretty cool. Like, you know, Reese and I try really hard to be involved and fit in and have a great relationship and enjoy the things that he does. But some of the things I just can't get into. Like Pokemon, I just don't understand it. There's so much to it, all the evolutions and all the different things. Minecraft, I just couldn't get into it. Like, so a lot of these staple things. Call of Duty, I can play Call of Duty, but I can't handle his aggressive, toxic person that he turns into when he plays it. And for the record, I was pretty bad at that too at his age. So I get it. But I also just don't want to promote it or be around it. I don't like my time to be spent that way because I get frustrated, or I'll tell him, like, bro, don't talk like that, or don't say that to him, or don't do that, or what, you know, and then he gets pissy and starts talking back to me, and then it becomes a whole thing. So I try to just avoid all of that just for the sake of the relationship. So, you know, rarely when we connect on certain things, we don't really like the same music. He likes the Legends. He really likes Grouch and Eli. He grew up on a lot of Grouch and Eli, so he's pretty used to listening to them. And you know, but when that Redhead Kingpin tape kept bumping day after day, like that put a big old smile on Papa's face. You know, I have some old Heavy D stuff too that I haven't busted out for him as well. Like, I got some classic stuff on cassette. Not a whole lot, but I got a few. I got a few CDs too from like the old era, like Onyx. Backed up. I got that CD still. Pretty sure I still got like my Public Enemy CDs, Fear of a Black Planet. You know, I got some of that old stuff, man. Some of you know what I'm talking about. Some of you have no clue, and I've never heard of none of it. Yeah, Heavy D was my guy for a minute. Girls, they love me. Is the other way, love a Heavy D? Of course, I changed that to he's the overweight love of Brian C. Which at the time it sounded cool because it flowed, but like I was actually calling myself a fat lover, you know. So, and for the record, when I sing this song to this day, it's still the same thing. The same applies to you know, Warren G's Regulators, you know, Nate Dogg and Brian C. out in 503 instead of LBC, right? That, like the LBC becomes 503, and the Warren G becomes Brian C. So it works. Don't hate it because it works. So I do have the bee simulator too that I might check out. It's sort of like my fallback plan if I can't find another good simulator for Mondays. You know, it's been a minute since I've done like any racing. I know that Forza's coming out. I don't really have plans to buy the Forza on PlayStation. I could probably be convinced, you know, if like everybody, like if Kirsten and Gerg and Bobby were all buying it and that was going to be our Tuesday game, you know, I think we can roll around and do races and stuff together. But I also don't want it to become like a competitive thing, because I don't want, like if somebody is better than everybody else, I don't want everybody else to feel like, you know, inferior or left out. I'm just kidding. I mean, I there's truth to that. I was embellishing the me part, but like, you know, you never know. Gerg may be like he may be the Stig from Top Gear, the guy that was the secret race car driver that would always show up and race. I have no idea if Gerg's the Stig or not. He could be. I mean, he might not be. It might have been Bobby, and maybe it was Kirsten. I don't know. All I'm saying is, I don't have plans to buy it at this time, but I could be convinced. You know, Gran Turismo is fun. It's very simulator-y, very realistic in a lot of ways, especially with, you know, apexing and corners and turns and things like that. Like, it's a very good simulator for racing. The one thing I don't prefer is a controller while doing it. Like, you know, I used to play previous versions of the game on my racing sim, which I don't have anymore. And technically, it was just a big hunk of metal and a seat with a spot to mount a wheel. So, I mean, I could get some really cool stuff now. They make really cool racing simulators. And they're expensive, but they're not, like, ungodly expensive either. So, you know, I've thought about getting one, but I'm just so limited on space up here. Like, where would I put it? Like, I thought about getting another setup downstairs, right? Like, being able to somehow, I mean, I don't want to buy another PC just to run, you know, and then put a stream sim out in the garage. But that'd be pretty dope if I did, right? I mean, that'd be pretty dope if I did. If I had the ability to just, like, go downstairs and, like, race and stream it, and it was like a nice setup and I was racing all day, like playing multiple games. But I mean, if it's for one game, like, it's certainly not worth, because those race sims are probably like $1,500 for a decent one. That's not even like a really good one, but like $1,500 we'll say. And then you got to have a computer, which is another $1,000 ish. I mean, I guess I could probably upgrade this one and then move this one down there, because that would probably work. Might be onto something here, guys. I don't know if the wife will approve of this or not, but she's trying to buy a bunch of garden boxes right now. Like, listen, listen. So I've already been saving and already had plans to allocate certain money to buy parts for my car. So I got to a certain point where I'm pretty much maxed out of things that I can do comfortably without voiding my warranty completely. So I told her that I was going to wait until the 3 years was up for my Volkswagen warranty. Now, I have an extended warranty that lasts 8 more years. So really, there's no way I'm waiting that long to do the big stuff, but there is a big turbo I can put on the car that would make it way faster, and there's a tune that supports it. I don't want to do it yet for a couple of reasons, but one of them is the warranty. And so I told her I wasn't going to do it, and I was going to wait 2.5 to 3 years until that was up. So the other night, we had a few cocktails, and she gets on her phone and she's scrolling, and she's been talking about buying these, raised metal bed frame things. I don't even know what they're called, but she starts stacking out. She's like, I don't even want you to see this. And I'm like, what is it, like $6,000 or $8,000 or something? Like, what are we talking here? She's like, no, it's only 1,300. I was like, order it. Like 1,300. You heard me. I thought you were talking about $6,000-$7,000 worth of stuff. Like, I'm fine with that, because she was like leading up to it, like, I know we were supposed to pay a lot for taxes and we didn't have to, and so now we've got a little extra money, and I don't know how you plan on spending that money. I know you got some car stuff figured out, and da 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 da. And she starts adding more and more to that 1,300, and she's like, it's getting up there. And I was like, it's fine, it's fine. And she's like, listen, why don't you call Dean and tell him that you want to get your big turbo? And I was like, because I don't want to ruin my warranty. But she was like trying to talk me into buying more car parts so that she could buy more of these things for the yard, which I think is hilarious. And I absolutely love that. Like, I love that we have that relationship, right? Like, and the ability to do stuff. Like, she's continuing to educate herself, and her paychecks have been going up and up and up. She does those professional developments up and up and up. I mean, I'm literally working for peanuts over here, and I'm able to do a lot of things because of her hard work. And that's awesome. Like, that's like dream come true kind of stuff, right? Like it's crazy. Like, I try not to like brag or whatever, because I know not everybody has found things, and some people have struggled and whatever, but like, jackpot. I must say, Gromit, grand idea of yours, giving Wash Lad a pair of pins. Who's Wash Lad? Me? Shopping as a kid. Hey, Justin, are you familiar with 2nd Avenue Records in Portland? They've been around. They're like the mecca of Portland for vinyl. Ooh, there's still some stuff here. Actually, I saw it. Yeah. They actually just moved. They're still on 2nd Avenue, but they just moved, and they've been in the process of moving for. I mean, giant. I don't know if I'd say giant. I mean, it's like, it's more of historic. Like, this place has been there. 2nd Avenue has been on 2nd Avenue for like 40 years now, and this is their 3rd location on 2nd Avenue. But they just moved. They're in Old Town now, I guess. I just got their address because they just posted it Saturday. Reese was trying to go there this last week, but we didn't know where to go because they hadn't posted their new address. Pretty exciting though, new spot. The last spot was always fun. Like, that's where, funny enough, that's where I got a lot of my hip hop CDs and cassettes. Like, even back in the 90s, like 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000. Like, that's where you went to get like all my Grouch and Eli albums. I couldn't buy them anywhere because we didn't have nothing. Like, Sam Goody was gone. What was it? Hollywood? No, there was a music. What was the big Hollywood music? Or no, that was Hollywood Video. What was the big one over off Lancaster that is now a Xfinity place? Oh, Jerry's got to bounce out. It's all good. Appreciate you hanging out, though. It's been a minute. Glad to see you. Hasn't been any new Lego stuff yet, so you haven't been able to critique my... No, I always appreciate the fact-finding and all the stuff, man. For real. I appreciate your time today, too, Jerry. It's good to see you. And I love that you love PowerWash like me. It's amazing. But yeah, 2nd Avenue is the place to go. One of these days we'll have to go there, Justin. Reese is trying to go there like this week. I don't know that we'll make it there. He also wants to go to Otto's Sausage Kitchen. Like, he's been literally Google mapping me and sending me links to like, hey, we're going to be getting my wheel. My wheel is only 15 minutes away from Otto's. I'm like, dude, we're not going to Otto's. They make really good sandwiches and have really good sausages. Some of the best sausage. I'm not even a big fan of like bratwurst and stuff, but I will eat for sure. Like, especially like the cheese dogs and stuff. That oof. They have an apple, what is it? Apple maple something, 1, 2. Whew. I think it's like applewood maple, I think is what it is. If that's even a thing. Crystal. Oh, yeah, yeah. I know it's what you're talking about across from the Crystal. That's a good one. Yeah, that's not 2nd Avenue. The 2nd Avenue's further down. So that's on like probably like 20th, 18th, 19th, something like that, because it's not quite to 21st, which runs all along there, but it's up there, handful of blocks. Not too far away though, for real. Not too far away. I don't know that area as well as I used to either. Like, my friend Shane used to own a hat shop off 21st, and we used to go there quite a bit. Unfortunately, he passed away a couple years ago, and ironically too, a bunch of stuff just popped up because kind of a anniversary of his shop opening and stuff, and people were talking about it, sharing posts, and man, it's gut wrenching. Like, dude was one of my best friends from like 6th grade to 10th, 11th grade. And I mean, all the trouble I got into, all the stuff, all the things I did, like, mainly because of him and his influence. Like, I'm not trying to blame it on him, but like, for real, it really was. Bro spent a lot of time with his mom in San Jose, California, and learned a lot about sports and drugs. And I mean, that's how I found out about Dr. Dre The Chronic that summer that it came out. We were in 7th grade. I'll never forget it. He showed up with the Chronic CD, and I didn't really even know what zigzags was, so I didn't realize that it was like a zigzag replication. And like, yeah, his name was Shane. Everybody called him Shaggy. And actually, it wasn't his shop posting. That was a couple months ago. His mom actually just passed away, is what it was. So, R.I.P. to Shag's mom. And guys, it's just a couple minutes early here. I'm at a decent stopping point in this particular level. Lots to do. In fact, we're just about halfway done with it, percentage-wise. Money-wise, we're almost on the dot too. But all right, guys, I'll be back in a couple minutes. I'm gonna take a drink. I'll be back. All right, all right, all right. I left early and I'm back early. I am actually anxious to hear back from my wife. At 10:30, she texted me and said she might be done early today. Now, traditionally, that does not happen very often. And looking at my stalker app to see where she is, to see if she's on her way home or whatever, she is not at the high school, which is where she normally works. She is actually at an elementary school, and that is kind of concerning to me. Part of me feels like maybe something happened to her job or something. Her position is a federally funded position. And without getting into a bunch of politics and stuff like that, there are some pretty heavy demands being made right now of schools. And the federal opinion is different than the state opinion. And the state is telling the schools to not listen to the federal stuff. So there's kind of like this battle getting ready to happen or already starting to happen. And my wife's position could become dissolved at any point because it's definitely different. So she still has a teaching degree. She still has so she'll still have a job in the district. But I mean, she may have found out today that she's been removed and put over at the elementary school, which, depending on what it is, I'm very, it's very unrealistic to think that's the actual case. I don't think that's what's happened. I feel like if anything today was like a student learning day or like I don't know why she'd be in an elementary school, but there are some situations where certain students have family members that go to these littler schools, the middle schools. Like middle school, I could see her being there for like a counselor day or whatever, like to show off and like be like, hey, I'm the behavioral specialist. I'm who you go to if and when you need any help or struggling with certain classes or teachers or behavioral patterns. That's what I'm here to help with and create new patterns and environments that will provide a better, happier experience. And so, yeah, it's like she sent me that text saying I might be home early, and I said, "Oh?" ? And she never responded. And then now, an hour and a half later, she's at a different school. So, like I said, it could mean absolutely nothing, and it could mean a big change has happened. I hope nothing happens. She's bent over backwards for the school and the students. The school has required or asked her to take more school credits to further in certain areas and basically make her degree broader and more impactful and more knowledgeable. They have certain, I don't know how to say it, it's like certain plans, I guess, that like if they want you to go to this school and they're going to pay for it. But the thing is that they really want you to go to a school that is way more expensive than what they're covering. So Jillian's been following their stuff, and we've been paying like, $1,700, $2,000 per course or whatever it is. And we're getting like reimbursement, but we're getting like $750 back. But if she were to go to like another school, it would cover it. But because they want her to go to this specific class, she's been taking it. But we have to pay out of pocket more than they do in order for her to go to that particular. So it's kind of like I said, I'm not complaining at all. She's just gone above and beyond and done anything and everything to help people and the students and everything at that situation. And so I really hope she doesn't get, I don't want to say demoted, but that's kind of what it would be in a way. The way the pay scale and system works, she wouldn't take a pay loss, but she might end up having to do different work that might end up being more work than she does right now. So in a way, she might have to like earn her money a little bit differently. But again, I'm just hopeful that she's just visiting another student, or, you know, there's always the possibility too that like maybe one of them left the high school and went to go see their sibling or something at the. She might be like trying to track one down, or, you know, there's all sorts of things like that that could happen. I keep waiting for my phone to light up though, and it's not. She's gonna get an earful from me later though, and I'm like, how are you gonna tell me something's maybe gone wrong, or something's different than normal, and then disappear and not text me back and not be where you're supposed to be? Like, the worry is real. And again, I'm sure everything is fine. Oh, Kirsten finished the episode. All right. Odd time to use. I see. Kirsten's over PowerWash Sim. I get it. She's like, let's see, I can watch it when no one else is streaming, or watch it while Brian. Oh, I'm gonna watch it while Brian's streaming. So yeah, the scene with Tommy and Ellie was the one I was talking about. The one where they have the fight about the who's going on what route and all that. Like, that's the one I was. That's the scene that I was talking about from the game. And I was like, oh, this is sweet. I remember this. I love it when they do that. I like that it's not verbatim the game, but I also like the game homage and references. Like, and let's, real quick, can we just revisit something that most people, so there's a lot of conflict about the second game, right? And without going into the conflict of all of that, I just want to point out one thing that just makes me go, what? So at the end of season 1, or at the end of the first game, Joel makes a big choice. Not going to talk about the details of that choice, but Joel makes a big choice, followed by another big choice, right? So like there's an action that happens, and then the retelling of that action, there's another choice that's made. So he makes 2 pretty big choices, right? And that's the end of the game. That's the end of season 1. We start off 5 years later in the game and in the second season. 5 years. And there's like a scene that happens that's sort of in between those. And it's the introduction of the rest of the Fireflies, Abby and her people. And which I love the casting for that, by the way. I love the casting for Abby. Like, I really like Caitlin Devers. Like, she's in a movie that we watched like 4 or 5 times. It's about an alien invasion. Amazing movie. I don't think she says but 4 words in the whole movie, but the fear and the understanding and the act, she's phenomenal. So I think her as Abby is great. She's a little undercut. I was telling that to the wife. I was like, man, I was kind of expecting Abby to be a little bit bigger. Like, she's a big girl. And anyways, when we first see Abby after the 5-year point, that's kind of where I'm like, it's been 5 years. And you only just now, like, anyways, it's kind of frustrating. Like, LIG it, girl, let it go. I know that's the whole story, but like, you know. Yeah. And I also wonder, like, so we know that this season will not exceed any storyline being told in the game. So as far as we know, season 2 will be a pretty much adaptation only to the events and things that have taken place in the second game. So that's pretty cool. I'm wondering how they're going to handle those events. I mean, we also know that the season 3 has been greenlit by HBO, and that they're going to go into production here in the next 60 days or so. So that's actually pretty dope to know too. But did that just give away a indication of when we might see Last of Us 3, the game? And I feel like that'll be the end, right? Like, I can't remember if we've officially got a yes or no on that, but the fact that he has been very adamant about, listen, we're not going beyond, or is this going to be another Game of Thrones situation where that final book, I don't know if that final book ever got written, but the final episodes in the season got put out. And so, you know, it does bring some questions. What up, John? Yes, I did. I definitely. Yes, we did guides on them. Tell me you haven't looked beyond our Lego videos without telling me you've haven't looked beyond our Lego. Yes, I definitely have played The Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2. I did guides for both. In fact, the second one is one of my favorite guides I've ever done, despite the lack of interest or usage. Most people don't even know it exists. You know, often people have their people they go to for, you know, if they follow Last of Us from game 1 or Power Picks, they're probably going to go back to Power Picks for the second game, and I get that. Not that many people went to our Last of Us videos, so not that many went to The Last of Us Part 2. But the reason why it's my favorite is because I was training Reese. At the time, Reese was interested in doing game writing and guide writing and wanting to be involved in the channel, and he and I did that entire series together. Followed by Spyro, which happened shortly after that. That was some of the best times of HTG for me. You know, I've had some good times, you know, even great times with Jeremy and Mark and you know, other people, you know, newer and older, right? But like, just that father-son stuff, as I was saying earlier, I don't get a lot of overlap with things that we both really love, that we can both tolerate each other on. And, you know, that was a really fun series to do because he was basically helping and, you know, finding things and remembering. And he did a lot of the gameplay too. Not a lot, but a fair amount, where he would go and actually find the stuff and record it. So, yeah, we would do the scouting run together on his account, I believe. I'm pretty sure that's how we did it. Or maybe we just reverted the save. I can't remember, but it's been a long time ago now. I did want to replay the game with the wife because the wife hasn't seen it. And when we watched the first season of the show, we actually played the first game together. But right now with her, she's got another PD that she has to give on Wednesday. And then she's got another one 2 weeks later. And then next week she has PBIS training up in Portland. So all week long she'll be up in Portland. She'll be coming home every night, but she'll be spending all day up in Portland instead of at the school. And so, like, there's just so much going on that there's no way we could get her to watch it. She's just like, I don't know when I would, you know, when would we even play it? And I was like, instead of watching an hour of TV, we could play an hour of the game. She's like, yeah, I'd rather just chill and not be dependent on it. I was like, we could play like an hour a week. Like, it doesn't have to be like an hour a night. Like an hour a week, you know, would give us a big jump on the, you know, especially if we did like a 2-hour start. Because then we'd be way ahead of what the episodes would be. And but I thought about replaying it on my own, too. I'll probably broach it again now that we watched the first episode. Because last night I gave her the, yeah, you know, if you would have played the game, you'd be very familiar with this scene right here. You know, and there was another scene, too, where we meet a new type of foe. And she was like, I didn't like that. I was like, see, you would have had a heads up. How we play the game? You would have known. I mean, she would have been scared then and playing the game versus scared watching the show, but different. You check the Stick of Truth Guide videos. Nice. Those are classics. I keep telling myself I'm going to replay that game, but I just can't. I don't know. I haven't gotten into it. I really like South Park, but I also... There's part of me inside that every time I watch South Park that's like, bro, you're above this. You can't be stooping to this sort of filth and levels anymore. Like, you're old. You're supposed to be a good example for your son and, you know, baby Luke. But South Park's pretty rad. I never played the second one. I own them both. In fact, I'm pretty sure they're both installed. Well, One of them is, anyways. Stick of Truth is installed. It's fun. Farting's pretty funny. That whole special farts that you get and all that. It's pretty wild. And kid friendly. Yeah. Uh-huh. I mean, I'm not going to say it's probably a good thing you don't have kids yet, but we're all thinking it, John. We're all thinking it. No, I mean, everybody's got different stuff, right? Like, I grew up having a fair amount of restriction, right? Like, I also snuck and did a lot of things. Like, I had, you know, Justin mentioned Two Live Crew earlier as something he used to skate to. You know, Two Live Crew was like X-rated, you know, rap music, and very, very, like, the music videos and all the stuff around it was really crass and over the top. My dad did not stand for that. He came from good values out in the country, like I said, hunting and like all sorts of non-explicit type of scenarios. You know, his parents weren't very affectionate either. Like, I love them to death, and I don't see it as a fault for them, but he just wasn't really exposed to that. You know, where I, you know, found out quick that, you know, certain things were supposed to be there, and if they weren't, somebody would leave, because that's what my mom did. So, like, I grew up sort of terrified of not having those things, and I tried to keep it professional and clean. Even today, you know, my channel would probably have a lot more followers and a different audience if I was cussing and playing the explicit games all the time and just didn't worry about that stuff. But it's always on my mind. So I try to be clean. I feel like you can still be funny without being over the top. Some of the funniest stuff is over the top, though. I will say that as well. And that's how I really live outside of my professional stuff. But well, your current influence. And I mean, hey, like I said, some of my friends that are some of my best friends. You know, I remember when Reese was young, I went over to a friend's house, and we were out working on the cars in front. The front window was, you know, open, and you could hear and see the TV, and the movie Hannibal was on, right? The movie Hannibal. Reese is like 6. His daughter, who's inside watching it, is like 5. And I'm like thinking to myself, like, bro, I wouldn't let Reese watch Hannibal, and your daughter is younger than Reese. Like, what are you doing? And I remember kind of saying, like I was shocked. I didn't tell him, like, what are you doing letting her watch it? I was like, you're okay with her watching that? And he was like, yeah, why? And I was like, huh. And I mean, he's the type of dude too that, like, you know, he works with a very diverse group of people, and a lot of words that I wouldn't use get used pretty regularly, right? And so, like, you know, there's definitely that. Like, I don't know, again, just the stuff I grew up around and was exposed to is a little different than others. And, you know, I tried to protect Reese in a lot of those ways. I didn't let him watch a lot of scary stuff. Like, he was affected. Like, you could tell, like, when he got scared, he was scared for a while, you know. And, like, we actually went through a phase for a minute where, like, anything and everything that could happen, he was, like, worried about. Like, we were, like, for like about a year, we were definitely concerned, because he was like 5, 6 years old, right around that same age, and he'd be like, you know, if I let go of your hand, is somebody gonna take me? You know, we're like, no, dude. I mean, you know, in the back of our head, we're like, well, I mean, depending on where you are and how you're acting, like, you know, we may want somebody to take you, you know. But no, seriously, like, there was a lot of things. Like, you know, he would worry about, like, swimming. Like, I don't want to get in the pool because I could drown. You know, like, will I drown if I get in the pool? Like a lot of the things were, like, way unrealistic too. Like kind of laughable. Like, no, dude. Like, are you serious? Like, knock it off. Like, quit but I mean, he was genuinely concerned for a couple of years. So we were really cautious about what kind of stuff he got exposed to. And, you know, even for a while, I was letting him watch SOCOM and like Call of Duty play and stuff. And then we had the kill knife situation, and I put that to a stop. I was like, all right, no. You know, so we were, you know, in a way, we kept him off social media. We didn't give him a cell phone. He was one of his last friends to be able to watch R-rated movies, have a cell phone. Like, and it really affected him socially. Like, he got made fun of a lot by the cool kids and other friends of his because he didn't have that stuff. And so everybody raises people different, you know, and I mean, a lot of kids are desensitized to a lot of things. I mean, Reese is very aware of feelings and is very empathetic, and you know, we're happy with how that turned out. You know, he likes a good scary movie, and you know, he's pretty toxic with his friends, like a lot of people are. But at the end of the day, he's a solid kid, and we're happy, and you know, we feel like we did our job, even though it hasn't been easy, and everybody's different. So you know, he didn't get South Park or any of that stuff until like way late. And I remember I got kind of in trouble. I don't remember where she went. I want to say it was when she went to San Diego for a big job thing. This was like, you know, 6-7 years ago. Reese was still like, you know, 13, 14 years old, something like that. So, you know, old enough to handle a lot of stuff, but we hadn't really presented a lot. She went away for the week, and I watched all the Jackass movies with him. She got so upset with me. Like, why would you show him that stuff? And like, I was smart. I didn't show him any of the CKY2K or BAM stuff, because Bam used to go like bust in on his dad, go into the bathroom and slap him with cameras on and like all sorts of stuff. And I wasn't trying to have Reese learn, oh, you can do that? Like, no, it's not cool to do that stuff. It's funny to watch it, but it's not cool to do it. So he still hasn't even seen like the CKY. So there's a lot of stuff that I've kept, and I got all those movies right here. Steve-O, the Haggard. I got a bunch of the, you know, that whole cruise, you know, movies. Not so much the Jackass movies. Those are all available digitally anyways, but all of their other stuff, their underground stuff. Yeah, I remember watching Nightmare on Elm Street probably a little earlier than I was ready for. And it messed with me for a while. Like, I was worried that I was going to, like, my veins were going to come popping out. I was going to be puppeteered by Freddy Krueger like they do in the movie. Like, that was some hardcore stuff to see as a youngster. So, knowing how it affected me, like I said, I didn't put Reese in those situations until, you know, he was probably more than ready, which, again, affected him negatively socially. But I think, you know, overall, it was probably the right move. No regrets. Alright, is that it? Man, I swear, if we don't get the call today for Reese's Wheel, I'm going to be super disappointed. I was hoping I would have it already. But Jim has not texted me yet. Although Reese has not texted. Has Jim texted yet either? So. At least I don't think he has. Oh, I do have a text. Hold on. Oh. So Jillian was at training today, and it has ended early. Reese discovered this new place out. So about 2 years ago, this new place showed up called the Chicken Shanty. It was a food truck, and then it evolved into a couple brick and mortar stores. Where's my ladder? I know I saw a ladder around here somewhere. There it is. So we got, you know, kind of used to going there once every couple weeks or whatever, right? Like nothing too frequent, but it was pretty good. And it was one of those places where like the chicken was like heavily breaded before they baked it or fried it, however. And so like sometimes it was really good, and sometimes it was like all batter and breading. And so we actually hadn't been there in a while, and we went there like one day, and it was like a Monday. Oh, somebody's at the door. Dang it. Hold on, I'll be right back. It's twice today. Second schmohawk of the day that's had to walk up my driveway. I ordered some car. So there's like Rain-X, right? And there's this stuff called I don't know what I think it's called Glass Shield. Is the actual product name. Always remember to cut away from you when using a box knife. So here it is. It's called Glass Coating. And it comes in, you've probably seen this on Facebook. Maybe not. I look at car stuff, so I've seen all sorts of car stuff. This is supposed to be like Rain-X on crack. And it has like this super easy to use foam applicator. Basically, you just puncture this hole and then give it a little squeeze, and it fills the applicator, and then you just and just wipe it on the glass and let it sit for like 5 minutes and then wipe it off. Same process as Rain-X, but it's supposed to last. Ah, it's crapping all over me. It smells like Rain-X. It's basically like a ceramic coating. It smells exactly like Rain-X. It probably is Rain-X. They probably bought gallons of Rain-X on discount and put it in there and like, hey, look at our special applicator. Anyways, Chicken Shack. Chicken Shack went down, or Chicken Shanty. It went down, and it's no longer available. It was just gone one day. And then Reese found out there was one in Albany that still existed. So he was going to Albany like once a week to go get Chicken Shack. And wasn't good enough for me to drive all the way there. In fact, it's across the parking lot from Burgerville, and that's the closest Burgerville we had. In fact, hey, Justin, did you hear we got a Burgerville opening up on the 21st? Or, yeah, the 25th, I think now. I think they pushed it back to the 25th. Lancaster, the old Sonic. Sonic's gone. Burgerville's in. Let's go. Such an upgrade. Such a huge upgrade. And what up, Hog? How's the Hog doing today? Oinkalicious, I hope. But anyways, Reese works out in Kaiser, and there was this guy in a chicken suit, I guess, standing out in the middle of the street, or not in the middle of the street, along the sidewalk, advertising what's called the Chicken Shanty. And it's essentially the Chicken Shack, but it's under a different brand name. And it's the same stuff, but the food's actually better. They have almost the same menu, but like the food is better. I don't know how to explain it, but it just is. It just, the wraps are better. They're fuller. You know, like a taco or a wrap, sometimes you can have like all the barbecue sauce or all the mustard or whatever sauces you get all like in one little plop. And it's like, you get like a bite of chicken that's totally dry, and then you get like a bite of, you know, the wrapper and like, you know, nothing but sauce. This place has it on point, and they make some really delicious garlic parm fries, like legit chunks of garlic in them with Parmesan cheese all over them. Oh, big old chunks of chicken. Ah, it's making me so hungry. So I told the wife, "You coming home early? Chicken Shack sounds good." And then I said, "No, don't worry about it. But at the same time, I could eat." So we'll see what happens. We'll see how lucky I get. And with her coming home early, I will likely shut down this early too, so I can go and do the Drex thing, and she's gonna want to take him for a walk. And, we're already getting close to like, you know, 3/4, right? I keep falling. Plus, I want to save some for another stream too, because there's no way I'm getting all of this done in one. But I don't want to leave like one little area. Come on, I keep missing the jump. Here, actually, I should move. This makes it easier. Yeah, so I'll probably finish this one up today. It looks like our audience has fallen off too. We had pretty decent turnout, and then I took the break, and according to YouTube, like, not even half the people returned. So I don't know if that's just falsifying numbers, if everybody had to bail. I know that Raised was busy. In fact, I was surprised we saw her at all, because she told me this morning that she wasn't a likely attendee today due to real life stuff, which is always acceptable. And then she showed up, so I was surprised. You never know. I know Brian D was out there, but I think Brian D probably, I probably put him to sleep. Historically, that's what happens anyways. That's not a bad thing either. Knowing that I have a melodic voice that is soothing. I guess that's how I'm taking it anyways. I'm trying to frame it in a way that's positive. First, it was just his dog. Remember, he used to be like, hey, Brian, my dog falls asleep every time he watches. And then it's like, hey, Brian, sorry I wasn't there for the second half. I fell asleep. It's got to be the voice. Hey! Johnson out there. Oh, message? No, not the wife. USPS, your package has been delivered. The only thing I haven't gotten confirmation of that was supposed to be here is my black R badges. I ordered some black R badges, and they were out for delivery as of this morning. My mailbox is probably where they got dropped. Although, you know, I don't understand. I should ask Paz this, because Paz is a mail delivery person. So my mail delivery person got a box for me that was too big for our mailbox. We have one of those key lockbox neighborhood things. And so he brought up my package, which is awesome, right? That's probably what you're supposed to do when a package is too big for the box. You got to take it to the house. Totally normal, standard practice. But with that being said, if you have multiple boxes, rather than take up a key space, because they only have 2 key spaces, why take up a key space when you're walking a package up, right? Like, I felt like he should have handed me my other box with, and maybe they're really small and just in the main box with like my envelopes and stuff. That would be my next guess, because the badges aren't very big, but there's a couple of them. And depending on how they package them, it could be pretty big. All right, so I'm going to need to put an extension on to make it lovely from a distance. Yeah, boy. 97%. I still don't have... I'm not down to the final 3. Oh, you know what? I still have the whole flipper thing behind me. I still haven't done the fountain underside. Remember I flipped the soccer ball, the football. He shoots, he scores. Like, oh. Oh. Porch roof, okay. little bit on the inside. Perfect, perfect. So there's still something. Okay, there we go. I see it over there too in the corner. Oh, it's the whole front side too. I wonder if that's a mithril fishing pole. But probably not. Gotta get in the pits. All right. So, let's get this corner over here. I think I got all the rest of it that way. Yep, looks like it. All right. Flip it. It's a little nummykins. We haven't seen gray yet today, have we? Nice, 85. That's big, bro. That's bigger than Nom. I've been thinking about getting an upgrade too for the TV, but we would have to completely change our setup in here to make it happen. I wonder if the wife's home. Oh, she's driving. She's asking if I'm still working. Yes, but not for long. But not for long. Yeah, so the way our room is set up, we've got it like pretty much optimized because we have A-frame. So like our room is like this, right? Like it's straight up. It's more like this than this. So it's, you know, not quite as steep. But then the sides go straight down. So like I've mentioned this, like right now I'm sitting down. I'm touching the ceiling right now. The ceiling is literally this far above the monitor and the camera that I have mounted to the top of my TV. The big screen, I call it a big screen. It's really not a big anymore. It's only a 55. It sits behind me on a glass shelf system that is like a little entertainment system. And basically right now, the TV sticks out beyond the post about this far. So when you come up the stairs and come around, because you have, it's like basically like almost like a 180 when you come up the stairs. It's really a 90, but you come up and hit a 90, and then you can bump into the TV, and it always bumps it off its kilter. And if we got any bigger, it would make that even worse. We can't slide it down any further because it conflicts with our we have like hanging system, like all of our clothes that hang over here on this wall. So it makes it really difficult to change anything. So, and of course, Jillian doesn't want to buy another TV because, you know, we have a TV that works. And so, you know, which does make a lot of sense. But I'm ready for something nicer and newer because we watch a lot of stuff. And, yeah. All right, so going back to Stubby. I'm not seeing anything up here, y'all. Nothing's glowing on the under. Nothing's glowing on the under. I don't think there's like, can I open this? No. Can I open this? No. Ah. Found you. Ah, found you too. Oops. Come on. You sniddious. It's probably just that really tiny bottom spot, huh? There we go. That one's all good. Not seeing anything on the shopper body. Not seeing anything there. Thought I saw a blip of white there for a hot second. Earmuffs. Oh. Huh. Do you guys see anything? I'm tapping. Bing, 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 bing. I can't open this gate. None of the under stuff's there. I'm kind of at a loss here, unless it's on the other side again. Lake water. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, no, no. It's probably gonna be some stupid stuff. All right, garden planter frames. Cheeky. I swear I already rang that one off. Porch pots. Is that like related to Peppa Pots? What's this one? There we go. Shopper 13 gloves. Okay, where are your gloves? It's got to be this guy. Nope, I was wrong. Succomatic flaps. Wheel. Mud flap. Mud flap. Mud flap. Booyaka show! The third level is pretty easy. It's really quick. It's a fast one. The last one will take you a little bit. So I've only so there's still one unknown because I've only done 2 today, and that's as far as I'm going to go. This one looks like it's pretty big actually. 400. Let's just get a picture real quick. We'll take a screenshotty poo. Still here, but only type at a stoplight. Yeah, that's right. Don't type and drive, Rays. Don't type and drive. Oh, don't want to do that. Let's try that. Let's try that. Get a couple different angles here. I don't want to turn on. There we go. This one looks like it's a little bit longer. What's the trophy for it? It's the Knit-O-Matic. Maybe I can bust off this trophy real quick and then we'll call it good. Knit-O-Matic, activate the auto wash. Really? That's it? It's like the easiest thing to do. In fact, you can't not see it. It's so stupid. Bath time. That's very stupid. Bath. That's a bad joke. All right, so let's go ahead and save it. No, how do I save? I thought there used to be a save. Oh, it's right there. How do I save it, guys? How do I save it? I don't know how to save it. Oh, it's right there. All right, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. As you guys know, I was, hopefully I'd get a text. I did not get a text, but I did get one from the wife, and she's on her way home, and I am doing anything and everything to get my butt out of this chair. So we got about halfway through. Actually, I just quit the game, but what does the DLC circle look like? The circle will give us a good indication of how much of the content we've actually got through. Fooled you, Rays. We're not done yet. Ha ha ha. All right, so just a little bit less than half. So that's good, because I want to, you know, I would like to have a full week next week. But it's Excite. It's Excite, guys. I'm glad that we hung out today. I will be back tomorrow with the firefighting simulator for at least one more week. Assuming everybody's available, that may be subject to change in the morning. But as far as I know, Gerg is feeling better. Kirsten is around. No trips with Pops. And I mean, other than this chair, I mean, look at this. Look how much I'm not like this is not supposed to be this way. This is not supposed to be this way. I feel like I'm on a friggin' tilt-a-whirl. Like, seriously. I should charge for this ride. All right, guys. Hey, thank you so much for hanging out. It's been fun. I'll see you tomorrow. If you guys have not already, please check us out at HappyThumbsGaming.com. There is a new shirt available. It's a car shirt. You guys probably won't care, but if you want to check it out, HTG merch should be one of the most recent items. I actually have a couple samples being sent out to me, and I'll have more info on that later this week. But guys, that's going to do it for me. As always, until next time, see ya!